Hey everyone, welcome to this month's marketing pop-up video. My name is Jessica Jacobson. I am Marketing Operations and Experience Optimizer for Whole Growth Partners, and today we're going to be talking about building a marketing budget. And we want to create one that's goals driven, that aligns that marketing spend with your business goals for greater success. Let's get started. So throughout the year, we see advisors creating and adjusting their goals for business, and marketing can often be an afterthought. Now, as you know, here at WGP, we consult to doing marketing with purpose. The purpose we're referring to is leveraging your marketing efforts to achieve a specific goal. We feel that marketing extends beyond event sponsorships and social media, but also it's the way in which you and your team position yourselves to clients and prospects, as well as in nurturing those client relationships. We want to create that better and more consistent client experience. And this empowers the team to reflect your brand, which of course then brings in more and better clients. So first and foremost, as you're building those business goals, what do you want to achieve? The clearer you can be with those goals, the easier it is to align your marketing efforts. Now, for example, most firms would love more clients, more referrals, and better access to their specific target market. But the more specific you can make these goals, the more efficient you can be in making your marketing work for you. So instead of more clients, how about 10 A-plus households with $500,000 in household income? That seems more specific. How about instead of more referrals, we identify the people in your book of business that are already doing really good referring and nurture those relationships by connecting every month? Or more clients in my target market. Maybe you need to first become better known in the community as the firm of choice for those folks. Now we talk about aligning those goals to our marketing funnel. The three main goals of getting more clients, more referrals, and becoming more known in your target market are really part of separate areas of the funnel and should be planned for accordingly. So to build recognition of your firm within your target market, first we need to increase awareness. This can be from event sponsorship, speaking engagements, maybe paid or earned media. To onboard 10 new A-plus clients, we need those newly aware prospects to move through the funnel, to connect with your brand, to consider you as their potential advisor or firm. And that can be fostered through a number of things: seminars, flyers, building out your capabilities deck, or maybe through ongoing social media exposure. Then at that critical point of decision, how does your team interact with the prospect? What are your approach materials? What's the language used? All of that can be elevated with intentional marketing. Now, the last business goal, to increase referrals, fills that bottom of our funnel. What makes a client loyal so much that they become an advocate for you? This goes beyond a one-to-many client entertaining event. Deepening those relationships through authentic and meaningful touch points throughout the year, from gifting to exceptional client service, these all tie directly back to your marketing efforts. Now let's get started. We first want to separate our two marketing spend buckets. So we've got new client acquisition and nurturing the existing client relationships. So here we're going to dive into the numbers. Here is an example of how to estimate your marketing budget for new client acquisition. Now, I give the disclaimer, this is for illustrative purposes only. And as with all line items in your budget, it needs to make sense first and foremost financially. But let's just get started jotting this out. So let's evaluate our current revenue and what our A-plus clients are paying us. So current firm revenue is right at $1 million. Our current A-plus average household revenue is, let's say, right around $8,000. We have 25 of those households. So approximately this A-plus segment of our book of business is paying us right around $200,000. Okay, let's take a look at new client acquisition goals. So first things first, we need to decide how many new A-plus households our firm has the capacity to onboard this year. So let's call that 10. And we know that to get 10 new clients, we need to multiply that number by 10 to determine how many leads we would need to achieve those 10 new A-plus households. So that's right at 100. Now, industry average numbers are somewhere around $200 to obtain a new lead. So we'll fill that in, and some quick math to multiply 100 times that $200 cost per lead puts us right around $20,000 in lead gen marketing spend. Now, the good news is we know that our A-plus households average around $8,000 in revenue. So we multiply that times 10 new households this year, and that puts us at $80,000. So not a bad ROI. Now let's dig into nurturing those existing client relationships. So a recent study by Michael Kitces said that the upfront acquisition cost per new client is over $3,000 when you account for your time, your team's time, and the hard costs invested. Maintaining these relationships has to factor into your ongoing marketing spend, not just to keep the clients, but to cultivate that relationship into advocacy. So if we estimate a 10% cost of client acquisition for spending on all those A-plus households, that puts us right around $300. Now this can be made up of gifting, entertaining, or events. At Whole Growth Partners, we advise our clients to ensure it's specific to the preferences and interests of the client. We find the biggest impact benefits either the client's family, their business, or their charitable interests. Of course, this number is fluid and can and should be adjusted to your market and client base. So dinners in Manhattan are far more expensive than in small towns. And like all things, make sure you're within compliance limits and that this figure works within your overall budget for the year. So let's draw this number down. We have 25 A-plus households. We're spending $300 per year to nurture this relationship at multiple points throughout the year, and that's right around $7,500. Okay, so here's a pro tip. What does not count towards FINRA's $100 per person limit, personal gifts such as a wedding gift, as long as the gifts are not, quote, in relation to the business of the employer or the recipient. So gifts of minimum value or things that are promotional items of nominal value that display your firm's logo. So this is interesting. If you're sending a gift, the tax or delivery fees do not count towards that $100 limit. And then also reasonable amounts of food and beverages consumed. This is a new one at virtual events. So if you're throwing a virtual event and sending food and beverages, that does not count. Or an occasional meal, sporting event, theater production, things like that, anything that is entertaining, as long as it's not all the time. It has to be not so frequent that it raises any question of propriety. Again, check with your compliance officer for any questions. So let's bring it all together. This firm has capacity to bring on 10 new A-plus households for the year. Now we have allocated $20,000 toward lead generating efforts and $7,500 for nurturing existing clients for a total of $27,500. Okay, so this accounts for 2.75 of the firm's revenue, and we're allocating 73% of that toward new client acquisition and 27 of that toward nurturing those existing client relationships. Now, this whole exercise is truly meant to give you insight into how you divvy out your full marketing spend. So play with those numbers and see what your goals are and make sure that those align. Wrapping it up, here are the top takeaways. Number one, your business goals should determine your marketing efforts. At Whole Growth Partners, we firmly believe you should not do marketing just for marketing's sake. Align specific business goals to the area of the marketing funnel and build out your activities from there. If you want new clients, you fill it from the top and build awareness and consideration. If you want to nurture existing clients into better advocates, you pay more attention to the bottom of the funnel activities. So play with the numbers. Make the math work for you and your firm. These are not hard and fast formulas, but rather a jumping off point to start building your marketing spending with those business goals in mind. Keep regulatory gifting limits in mind while exploring ways to maximize your impact. Know what counts towards those limits and what does not. And the biggest takeaway, your client's experience is the biggest source of marketing you have. Your team is a walking, talking advertisement for your firm. Spend time developing their sales language and their understanding of the financial planning process and also the solutions you're recommending. A responsive, knowledgeable, and caring team of professionals is the #1 reason clients will stay with your firm. Here are our to-dos. Our homework for this session is to play around with a marketing budget for the year to come. Best steps to get this accomplished: review what you've done in the past. Look at your 2019, 2020, 2021 budgets. This should give you a good baseline marketing spend. Now, of course, things look different in 2020 than they did in 2019. So keeping that in mind as we move forward into the year to come, why that may have some variance and account for it. So compare those budgets, look at the different activities that you did, and review the return on investment. What were the home runs for you and which ones fell flat? Maybe try to tie those into those specific business goals to see if there was a better activity that could have been put in that place. And then align with your team on what you're looking to accomplish in 2022, and then realistically identify what those biggest opportunities could be. This is an exercise and a working document that will change over time, so you can surely come back to it and reevaluate and reassess as the quarters continue. Thanks everyone for joining us today. We would love to stay in touch with you. Please visit us at wholegrowthpartners.com or send us an email, info@wholegrowthpartners.com. To download your free marketing budget estimator worksheet, scan the QR code in the bottom right of your screen. We'd love to get your feedback. Thanks again, and we look forward to seeing you next month. Bye-bye.